Erik and I first met how many years ago now? 2009? Does that sound right? Longer than that. Well, we met at Robin's clinic, the ATC Anxiety Treatment Center in Sacramento. And Erik was probably, I think he would tell us, in pretty bad shape back in those days. Dealing with BDD, body dysmorphic disorder. And he has worked so hard. This is a guy that would have to deal with looking in a mirror for hours on end, inability to leave the house. You wore a beanie on your head, as I remember, for years and years because of the BDD. And he was a guy who rolled up his sleeves and said, I'm ready to do some hard work. And working with Dr. Zazio and the support of his family, he pushed through. He did this treatment process that we have in the community that works, and he turned his life around. And today he's a proud papa, and he is here engaged to be married. Both fiance and son are here, and building a wonderful career, and just yet another success story about why we are here, because treatment works and there is hope. And Erik, we want to have you come up and share a few words about your journey and remind us again why we're all out walking today. Erik Duarte.
I would really like to thank everybody for coming out. It really does mean a lot to me. As you know, my name is Erik Duarte, and I have body dysmorphic disorder, also known as BDD. It's a mental disorder that is part of the obsessive-compulsive disorder spectrum. BDD affects the way a person views their physical appearance. A person with BDD may view a physical feature of theirs, such as their nose, ears, and face, as being ugly, while their loved ones do not see the flaw. While most people have something they don't like about their appearance, someone with BDD will spend endless hours checking their appearance in the mirror, oftentimes having plastic surgery, which by the way only makes it worse. And they also obsess endlessly over the perceived flaw. My team is called Walking with Nathaniel. Nathaniel Aslin from Pennsylvania suffered with BDD and OCD. He showed signs of BDD by age 11 and battled both disorders for many years. He was an exceptional writer and a whiz on the computer. He envisioned a life of service. Sadly, in 2011, at the age of 24, Nathaniel took his life. This loss was devastating to his parents, Dennis and Judy Aslin, and a very close sister of his, Carrie. In 2012, Dennis Aslin began walking with Nathaniel, visiting hospitals, clinics, treatment facilities, and other places that were part of Nathaniel's journey. He raised over $30,000 for much-needed funding for BDD research. I showed symptoms of BDD at age 13 and was finally diagnosed at age 18. Because of BDD, I found myself very angry, had a hard time making friends, I was very antisocial, and spent hours locked up inside my room staring at mirrors. I wore a beanie 24/7, removing it only to shower in an attempt to hide my so-called flaw. BDD took over my life. When I was finally diagnosed, I went through several psychologists and psychiatrists who did not address the issue of BDD. It wasn't until I began treatment at the Anxiety Treatment Center that I saw any improvement. With the help of Dr. Zazio and Tracy Roulet, I was finally able to get my life back on track. Trust me, I was more than a handful. The treatment, like Jeff was talking about, included cognitive behavior therapy and exposure and response prevention. I have to say, it was difficult to do it, but with their help, I did do it, and over time, my life finally began to return to what I call normal. I could walk by a mirror without spending the next half a day examining my appearance. 5 years later, I accomplished things I never thought I could. I earned a certificate as a veterinary assistant as well as a paraprofessional. I am also enrolled in college majoring in health and fitness. hard work and at times seemed unattainable, but I got my life back. My next paragraph, I want to introduce some statistics. It's scary, but I feel like everybody needs to know this. Body dysmorphic disorder is more than being unhappy with your appearance. It can be debilitating and interfere with quality of life. It has been estimated that at least 1 in 200 people suffer with BDD. There was a study done that showed the suicide rate was 22 to 36 times higher than the general population. I cannot stress the importance of raising funds and awareness for body dysmorphic disorder and obsessive-compulsive disorder. I would like to thank the people responsible for allowing me to share my story and the chance to speak at the 1 Million Steps for OCD. It is so important to know that there is help and there is hope. Never give up. Thank you, and let's have a great walk and raise some funds.